All right, my friends, let's talk about the movie Dead Male. So I recently just watched this. This just dropped on the Shudder this week, and I have been highly anticipating this movie. It is pretty much about a guy that works at a post office. He gets a mysterious note with blood on it, and he decides to investigate the origins of this note. That is literally the summary of this movie. However, when you see the trailer, this movie is set into like an 80s theme, as far as you can tell with the color, the style of everything. The filter used on this movie was totally 80s. You get that teal look. You also get that kind of gritty look to this film. And overall, guys, this movie, the horror stems from more of like a crime investigation. So, and I guess that kind of does highlight into the summary of the story with a man that is like really good at diving into and finding the origins of most notes and things that come through the post office that have a dead mail is pretty much mail that doesn't have like a specific address, or mail that needs to be returned, or they can't figure out where it's supposed to go. That's where this guy comes into play. But yeah, this movie is definitely, it gives me a mix of like the creep mixed in with like a crime investigation type movie, type show. And the main character, the guy who is the crazy guy, Trent, in this movie he does a great job of just being like so unpredictable, so creepy, and you never know what he's going to do, I mean, he loves Neapolitan ice cream, I know that. But yeah, like I said, he's so unpredictable. And I think this movie, with how low of a budget it was definitely interesting. It had me captivated in some parts. And the synthwave style of the background music was pretty crazy too. Like I said, I love the film itself, like the LUT that they used on it, or the filter. I love that teal look. It's kind of like what they use in Terrifier. And it had such a grainy feel to it. It's a straight 80s horror movie. It wasn't as bloody or a slasher, type like that kind of scare. But like I said, the horror comes more or less from, I guess, kidnapping or like adult napping, because the guy was adult. And that's more or less where all the creepiness comes from this movie. But overall, I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's going to be for everybody. I don't think everybody's going to enjoy it. I actually don't really like criminal movies that much, but I found this one quite captivating. So I'm going to give Dead Male a B+.